And God looked at them and just said, wow, y'all are the pinnacle of my creation. We're going to hang out every day. And it's funny, you can go ahead and read the Bible. Enoch is Enoch, E-E-N-O-C. He was another, C-H. He was another guy who walked with God. Moses walked with God. You know, and there's all these people, and we have these references in the Bible of these people that had these incredible relationships with God, where God spoke to them, where God would reveal himself and say, this is who I am, this is what I want you to do, and they would do it. Do you ever feel like that's not you? I mean, it's like, God, how about a road to Damascus experience? How about you knock me down? How about you speak to me? Why don't you ever talk to me, God? And again, you know, our idea of self-worth is kind of built on what our experience is with God. But I think the first place is you got to grab a hold of, I have no idea of what I am worth to God and what other people are worth to God. You know, and you know what? And I'll confess. You know, the guy who killed the 2 teenage girls in California, what's he worth? I don't know that he's worth the cost. You know what I mean? Are you with me? I have a hard time. I'm not capable of putting worth on some people.
Those people?
And so here's the point.
The struggle with trying to figure out who is worth what is something that we always are going to be incapable of.
That we worship
and
God.
Here's what we believe. Basic truth. Don't worry about flip-flop.
Is because He is the one who gives worth. He is worthy. You and I don't give worth. We work hard to make ourselves feel worthy. What do? I mean, what do you do to make yourself feel more valuable? You work hard, right? You go to college. I mean, name it. You spend an hour in the bathroom working on your face.
You might be rusted
Why?
up and you have no engine.
So you will feel more valuable, right?
You've done so much damage to yourself.
And on the flip side, you know, there are people who give up on feeling, you know, and it's like then they live a life of not caring about who they are, not caring about anything because they feel worthless. And their life is one continual chain of worthless decisions that make them worthless. You know that, right? Only God is able to give us value.
So that's part of what
And
makes
if God can look at humanity,
Almighty.
if God can look at you and say, you are priceless, then why do you feel so bad about yourself?
He sees what we cannot see.
Well, because we haven't bought in. I mean, we haven't believed
if your
it yet.
soul was this truck,
God is mighty and God is worthy and God is
judgment of the crowd.
Valuable. He is who He is because He gives worth.
Some of you would want it towed from your yard and burned.
One of Jesse's songs, I don't know that he sang it this morning, but he talks about, you know, that, you know, it doesn't matter. We all have been thumbprinted by God. You know, we've all been
How would you feel about the judgment
given
of the
this holy DNA. I mean, we are creations of God. It doesn't mean everybody is holy, right? But we've all been hand knitted together by our Father. So now, here's the downside to all that. Even though we feel I try to tell you about how God feels, but right? Has anybody noticed this recycling place right up here on the hill? You have to turn to come by. I'm a frequent customer there. Yesterday, I'm not lying, there was a CJ7 Jeep that was about to be destroyed. They were going to smash. You know what they do up there, right? Do you know the carnage that goes on up there?
What their true worth.
They take cars and they smash them. Beautiful old cars, and they smash them flat, worthless, useless. They smash them. I mean, right now, has anybody driven? Have you seen that there's like a 50-something model Dodge Power Wagon up there? Anybody noticed? What's wrong with you people? I mean, it's still got the round fenders, round top, this amazing chrome. There is the Dodge Ram head. There's this classic old 50s Ram head on the hood that's about that big that came from the factory. It's amazing. And here's what breaks my heart. I drive by there and I'm looking all the time and I'll see something and I'll go, "Dude!" And then when I come back, it's flat. And I'm like, "Why, God? Oh, what are they doing?" It breaks my heart. Are you with me? It destroys me. And then they load them up on this truck and they send them somewhere to be chopped up or burnt down or something. You know,
there's a lot of confusion.
It's not good.
Even sometimes what we preach.
And yesterday morning, I don't even think my wife knows the truth about this. I got up at 5:30 and loaded up a neighbor's trailer and went up and got
Every time I pass
an old
by there, I'm like
CJ7
rubbernecking,
was about
seeing
to
what
be
the latest
smushed, and
vehicle.
it's only the front half of it, but I did want it.
I'm up there
Talk
with
later.
the trailer.
Talk later.
There was a half of a CJ7 somebody had jumped. And yes, it is at my
We'll
house.
work that out. So I got it home. Here's the beauty of it. Don't look at her. Don't worry about her.
It was like, whoa, front axle and rusty frame and half of a body.
Back to my point.
Score!
The important
Get
one
it?
here. Don't worry.
So, but here's
Here's
what
the thing
kills
about
me
the
about
whole
that place.
value.
Right now, if you'll go up there, there's like a 50-something model old Dodge Power Wagon.
We don't talk about this a lot.
It's insane. It's got crazy trim.
And I think it's
got
something that's been overdone, but it's something you need to know that we believe and we try to teach, okay?
Is it really?
Just like this vehicle was destined for either to rust out and dissolve, and just like those vehicles are bound to be shredded and ultimately burned, I want you to know that we believe that without the saving power of Christ in a person's life, there is a salvage yard. There's a pit. There's a place where the soul goes, and there is no more hope. You can call it hell. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it separation from God. But if you live this life and all you know is devaluing of who you are, if all you know is just doing things by what you feel and on your own decisions and becoming more and more worthless, there is a place called hell, and Jesus talked about it. And I don't want to make people run to God because of the fear of hell. But you need to know that if you ignore this soul, if you ignore the spiritual part of you, the decision's already made. And here's the thing. God doesn't love you because, well, God doesn't base His value of you by how screwed up you are. Nor does God value you because of how good you think you are. Because, you know, I've had these times in my life where I've been bad and then I try to act good. I thought that's what you did. I thought that's why you went to church. You were bad Friday and Saturday night, and then you went and you were good Sunday morning. That paid for it all. And church sucked so bad when I was a kid, I'm sure it was payment for me. And so we do that. It's like, man, maybe I can offset this value thing. You know, maybe I can add value and make myself worthy. God does not place value on you by how you messed up, nor by how good you are. God places value on you because of what you were created to be. Do you understand that? When this thing rolled off the showroom floor, do you know what this was? It was the most freaking awesome four-wheel drive ever made. That's what it was. It was the first real SUV. This was the go anywhere. It came from the factory with locking differentials. No flipping switches, none of that crap. We went four-wheel drive all the time. And you could take your family to the mountaintops or to the swamp bottoms. It didn't matter. You could go anywhere because this is what the original design was. Are you with me? You were created to walk with God. Well, I don't care where you're at now. I don't care what you think about yourself now. I don't care what you think about other people. Every person from baby till death was created to walk and interact with God. That's why you're here. That's why in the bad times of your life, or maybe even in the good times, you feel led to pray to something bigger than you. Why? Because there is something bigger than you giving you value. saying, you were created to be one with me. Y'all get this? That's why God sees you as valuable, not by how jacked up you are, not by how many parts you're missing, not by how many miles have been put on your soul. God loves you because He created you, and He knows you intimately. And He still wants to walk with you and talk with you.
And so, here's the thing.
So, I believe
you're incapable of making a good judgment because of what Satan
just like when I drive by that
and to
recycling center.
What did he say?
And I see some classic car that somebody who just needed $150 decided to drag up there.
Did God really say you couldn't eat from this tree?
You may have done it.
And he's like, well, yes, he said.
When I drive by there and I go, no! Please understand, I believe that God Almighty, when a person chooses to say, I don't need God, I can do this, I don't care, I don't need His input, I don't need His design, I don't care if He loves me or not, and they do that all the way to the end of their life, I don't believe God goes, yeah, one more for the five. I believe God's heart is broken. I believe He cries out when He sees His creation.
So Eve went, well, okay.
Sent to the scrap.
And Adam's just checking out Eve, and she hands him the apple. That's Morse code from God.
So,
and so
here's a way to help you understand this. Anybody ever bought a brand spanking new car? I never have. I don't know that feeling.
You with me?
I'm better than you. How about that? I never bought a brand new car, but what do they call it? What happens to that car when you crank it up and drive it off the lot? Depreciation. And so that ticket that you signed for $25,000 or $35,000, when you drive it off the lot, the car is actually worth $15,000.
But you need to know
every
something,
day,
okay?
every mile, every year that passes by, it becomes...
The church exists because we are
worth
a group
less.
Of people
it becomes
who know
worth
that we're not good
less.
at judging. We're not good at determining the value of people. But
when Adam and Eve blew it in the garden, when they fell, when they took the apple and they said, we want to be like God, yeah, we want to know what He knows.
How God really sees
they began to depreciate.
Really
and the first sign of that was
and
what?
We do that together.
Oh crap, I'm naked.
And that's why we have to nudge one another on,
you're
to not judge that person.
Now your value is going down.
Outside.
Now you're
Don't
worth
just
less.
see
Why?
What you think and make
because
your
you bought into a lie.
No,
now you're depreciated in value.
We've got to look
and
deeper
and try
to see
I was
what
saying
God
about we don't have the
sees,
capability to really judge the value of a human.
You and I are incapable.
What did Satan tell Eve?
If
you will eat this apple, God didn't want you to eat this
apple
because if you do, you'll become like Him. You'll know good and evil.
One of the first.
You'll be powerful, just like God is. The problem is, it was a lie. The problem was we saw the worthlessness that is our own lives. And we very easily can look at other people and say, dang, no, they're worth less than
out to
I am.
humanity right now.
On the scale of worth, I'm here. There are a few people that are higher than me.
Don't surrender your soul to junk.
There's a bunch of people below me.
Don't surrender your soul
to
make the call on whatever you feel
if you'll
is right
believe
and
the
wrong.
lie. And
because
it did nothing for us except devalue us. So,
in kind of summary, how does
$300?
How does God see value in you? I mean, if
what would
know
we?
What you
and I want to go all kind of places with this, and I probably can't. Got so many ideas, but
you know what you've done, and
$300
from time to time.
Some of you are going, "Are you serious?
Surely
are you an idiot?"
God has got to be totally disgusting, right?
Some of you are going, "Well, good deal."
That's the problem with this sin stuff. It's like there's this conscience once you get into Christ. There's this
no comparison here. I'm not trying to be
change and transform you.